welcome to another edition of Castheads magazine live. Well, it's not live really. We kind of dropped the live thing because we are, not too sure about the quality of connection these days. So we thought we'll pre-record this, and put it up online for all you guys to see. And the hot topic that everybody is talking about is the fact that Hot Wheels is launching this thing called NFT. What is NFT? Who's buying these NFTs? What's going on with these NFTs? These are all questions we're going to ask our guest tonight. And our guest tonight is actually no stranger to the Hot Wheels world. He's a gentleman by the name of Bryan Benedict. He's been at Hot Wheels since 2014, if I'm not mistaken.
2004.
2004. So there you go. I added another 10 years onto that. My bad. But yeah, he's been doing a lot of amazing stuff. And I have to say, right, Bryan, I'm a huge fan of Chris Farley and David Spade comedies. When I was growing up in the 70s, I grew up with Terence Hill and Bud Spencer. And, then progressed on to, David Spade and Chris Farley. And one
Yeah.
of my most favorite movies, right, is a movie called Tommy Boy. And when I got back into collecting, um, I didn't know much about Hot Wheels because when I stopped collecting when I was a kid and I got back to collecting about 3 or 4 years ago. And then I started to catch up with the new terms like treasure hunts and, the classics and the TV and the screen series and so on and so forth. And I came in contact with one of the screen series. And this has got to be one of my all-time favorite Hot
Uh,
Wheels casts. And this is why when I say that I'm a huge fanboy, this is one of the first Hot Wheels castings that I got when I got back into the collecting game. For those of you who don't know, this is the Plymouth GTX, um, done by Mr. Bryan Benedict himself. And as you can see, it is just one of the most beautiful castings that Hot Wheels did in the Screen Time series. I just love everything about this, and yeah, so that is my moment. You can check
Thank you.
it out. Thank you so much for joining us,
Yeah.
and let's get on to the meat of the conversation.
Yeah.
Hot Wheels is decided to get innovative and jump into the digital age with NFTs. Um, Okay, from what I know of NFTs is it gives people the opportunity to buy previously unattainable collectors pieces, mainly in digital. It gives people the ability to sell their products
Yeah.
from a creative point of view, and it has generated this completely new culture of digital collecting, where you've got people who are producing some fantastic stuff, and you've got this culture of people who now want to collect this fantastic stuff. And with all of that, you got these people who don't know what is going on. So, so let's kick off with what is the Hot Wheels NFT Garage?
All right. Yeah. So the Hot Wheels team is bringing some of our most iconic, and classic Hot Wheels castings into the future with these exclusive NFT offerings. So we're basically offering a series of NFTs called the NFT Hot Wheels NFT Garage, and each of these will feature cars across multiple mini collections, and allowing you to collect, trade, and sell to build this ultimate digital peg wall, essentially.
Right. And when you say a garage, a lot of people are saying, is this just going to be virtual? Is this going to be actual stuff? Am I buying artwork? Am I buying a car? There's a bit of confusion as to
Yeah.
what one gets when they get themselves an NFT, from now Hot Wheels. And I'll get back to explaining what an NFT is in a moment. But yeah, what do you actually get? What's
Yeah. So we are offering these sort of digital uh, pieces of art, basically. It's a digital version of the car, right? Um, and but in this case, with Series One now, we are also offering a chance to get a physical car as well. So basically, earlier this year we launched our NFT Garage, featuring Twin Mill, Dura 2, and Bone Shaker, and we kicked the collection off um, with an auction of these three one of one collectibles, right? So that was very limited. We called those the first edition. Um, now we're about to break the gates wide open right here with a series one where we're offering several cars to collectors, and there'll be within that an opportunity to get 4 different rarities, basically: base, rare, premium, and NFTH. Those are our treasure hunts. So it'll be a mix of digital blind bags, basically featuring 4 cars or 10 cars, and you will have an opportunity within that to potentially get one of these more rare ones, the premiums or the NFTHs, which will come with the ability to get a physical car. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah, it did. It did. But what I'm going to do is quickly just tell our audience, those who haven't figured out or haven't been in touch with NFTs are NFTs basically are called basically the abbreviation comes from non-fungible tokens, and these are basically digital tokens that you can buy using cryptocurrency. And with these tokens, you can now be able to invest in various pieces of art, writings, design, so on and so forth online. And assumably, these are going to gain value quite quickly over the next few years. And because this is something that's rather new, you won't look at the value of it going up within the next few months. But as these become collector items, the value of these NFTs or these tokens will go up, and you'll be able to sell these tokens to somebody else later on if they want, giving that person the ability to own the digital product or item or whatever they have spent their money on. Am I correct so far, Bryan?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, basically, it's essentially just like buying a Hot Wheels car, right? You're getting a digital version of your Hot Wheels car, and you can build your collection out and create a whole peg wall, essentially, of your collection, right? But in digital form. It's essentially, it's if you liken it to like fine art, right? It's like instead of getting an oil painting, you get a digital piece of art, and that piece of art, it has value in itself. It is an original piece of art, right? So it's the way NFTs work, because they have they're specifically tied to specific identification. So when you get that NFT, that is the original piece, right? So that is an official original piece of art, and so we're giving people a chance to buy these digital expressions of our Hot Wheels cars in the same way you would buy any other collectible or piece of art. And then, like I said before, with the 4 different rarity versions that we are offering, with those more premium, the 2 more premium levels, the premium and the NFTH, you will have the opportunity then to redeem that for a physical car in addition to the digital NFT that you get, which is really exciting.
Yes. Okay, it's all well and good for the collectors who are interested in, and we're not beating around the bush. I mean, when it comes to Hot Wheels, there are essentially 2 types of collectors. The one lot that looks at Hot Wheels as an investment, and then the other lot that looks at Hot Wheels as a hobby to display and feel good about owning. Now, this sort of collecting and this sort of uh, digital NFT collection works well for those who are interested in Hot Wheels as an investment, because hopefully later on these tokens will go up in price. But what happens to the guys? Excuse me. What happens to the guys who just want to look at their collection or display their collection, or tell their friends they've got this collection? How do they show people that they've got this NFT of this fantastic digital art or product that they've spent money on? Where do they get a chance to display that? And what is it in for them? Because at the end of the day, for them, being able to show off that piece is where it's at for them. How can they do that with NFTs?
Yeah. So you can display your NFTs on any screen, right? So and the really cool thing about what we're offering is they have a really fun GIF sort of movement element to them. So it's not just a static car in a package, right? So typically in traditional collecting, you would have if you want to collect your or display your cars, you might have them on a wall, and you might have just a bunch of cars static in package. Here we get the visual of the car in package, but also you see it moving. You see a lot of dynamic action going on with it as well, and it's fun to share that. You can share that with your friends and show them on any screen, really. So and that's the really cool thing about it. And you get exclusive ownership rights to that NFT, right? So and that can be traded and sold, and so you touched on the investment part of it. These NFTs have the potential to go up considerably in value. We're seeing a lot of excitement around NFTs, and a lot of NFTs are really going up in value. So it's a really exciting time, and it's a great I think way to kind of bring traditional collecting and sort of the modern sort of crypto world together.
It's a very, yeah, I do. It is quite interesting because it also does solve a lot of unique problems that the world is facing right now. For example, if you were to move into this sort of collecting as an investment, you look at the amount of reduction in packaging that you would have to produce, and that would reduce carbon footprint of a collector, by so much. And it is quite the innovative way of going about it. And I think people will get their heads around it as they start to invest and a bit more time and a bit more effort into it. And I think what has happened is this is something new that's coming out to people. And I think it just, with fun brands like Hot Wheels, for example, pushing the envelope, I think it gives people, traditional collectors, a good chance to kind of meld into the future of what collecting is all about and meld into the future of digital. Uh, but then it raises the question, at the end of the day, how exclusive are these NFTs?
Yeah. Well, before I answer that, you said something that gave me a thought. You talk about like people have very limited space these days, especially, and that's the one really great thing about NFT collecting is whether you're in a small apartment or whatever, you can collect as many as you want, and you're never gonna run out of wall space. So I think that's a really really cool aspect of the sort of digital trend of collecting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and I'm sorry, what was the question you asked again?
Exclusive are these? I mean, we know, from traditional collectors, we know that there are VFTH, very hard to find cars, and, limited
Oh,
runs. There's
yeah.
some of the super runs. But, and we also have a fair idea of how many of those there are in the world. So how exclusive are some of these NFTs? Are we talking like, 100 bone shakers and 100
Yeah.
uh, windmills, or
Yeah, so these are very, very exclusive. Of course, with our first one, as our first NFT drop a few months ago, those were one of one. So that's as exclusive as it
yeah,
gets, right? Um, with these are extremely rare as well, much rarer than any of the physical traditional physical cards that we've put out. So we're talking an extremely rare type of offering here. So and especially the physical ones, right? So like we're offering the NFTs themselves, which are rare in each of those four rarities. But the for those last two rarities that come with a physical card as well, those are even harder to get. It's like a 1 in 20 chance maybe of getting a physical card.
wow. So we're talking some pretty exclusive stuff here.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. So, okay, now moving on to the platform that Hot Wheels is going to be launching this on tomorrow, which is the Wax platform. From the limited research that I was able to do, Wax is trying to build themselves up as a platform that deals mainly and specifically in NFT collectibles.
Mhm.
It's also super easy to jump on board. Like they say, it's a two-step process. So I jumped on board and I set up my wallet. Could you take us through what Hot Wheels is doing with Wax, why Wax has been chosen, um,
Yeah,
what the
yeah. So
relationship?
yeah, so Wax, it's Worldwide Asset Exchange, is a leading decentralized video game and entertainment network. The Wax blockchain is a safe and convenient way to buy, sell, and trade virtual items. They're sort of one of the leaders in this world of crypto. Um, and so why the Wax was chosen. The Wax model was designed to be extremely energy efficient, actually, and to minimize carbon emissions. And so using only a fraction of the energy as Ethereum and Bitcoin, Wax uses no more energy per transaction than a regular online purchase, and actually even less so when you think of if you're doing a regular physical purchase, there's shipping involved as well. So if there's no shipping, and the platform is extremely efficient. So that was one of the main reasons we went with Wax. We're very at Mattel. We're very committed to our environmental responsibility and our sustainability goals. So that was really important to us, to work with a company that had like values.
I think that's a really interesting point because, again, a lot of we're looking at a lot of potentially new collectors getting involved. Possibly first timers because they're more interested in cryptocurrency and NFTs and that sort of thing. So you're opening up, the Hotwheels market to a completely new and modern, younger segment. And this is also a segment that cares deeply about, the carbon footprint of everything that they basically own and interact with. And recently we had the COP Environmental Summit as well. So obviously these are things that are on people's minds. So it's really awesome to see a brand like Mattel take that step forward into using digital innovation into furthering a more sustainable program for collectors while reducing the carbon footprint in somewhat of a new and innovative way of thinking, which is really cool. Um, so so how do I get on board? Now I got myself a wallet account. What's next? I mean, what do I do? And I'm talking purely from a layman point of view because we're talking about a serious amount of collectors out there who are interested but have absolutely no idea what they're getting into. So once I get myself on the Wax platform, what's next? What do I do?
Okay, so we you will be able to go to our site on Mattel Creations and purchase these. We are offering so for Series 1, we're offering 2 packs. We're offering a standard pack of $15 with that contains 4 digital cars, and then a deluxe pack that it's at $35 containing 10 digital Hot Wheels cars. And so, like I said before, those are blind packs, so you don't know if you're going to get which rarity levels you're going to get with those. But I think I can't remember if you mentioned. So ahead of the November release, fans can set up their Wax count, and so. So the set up a Wax Cloud wallet and heading over to wallet.wax.io to prepare for the purchase. And then more details about the collection will be found on the official Wax Discord.
Excellent. For those of you who haven't checked wax.io out, please do because it is quite interesting. You should kind of like devote yourself a bit of time to do so because it is a bit like falling through the rabbit hole. The minute I got in there, I just went into a whole new world of cryptocurrency collecting, and it was absolutely mind blowing. So actually, you basically took all the questions that I was going to ask you following the NFT conversation about how to get it and released it all in one answer. So, really exciting times ahead. Um, what would you tell collectors who, I mean, are not believers yet? I mean,
Yeah,
from someone like I think it would be great encouragement for people to get into something like this, even if it's at an experimental stage, because again, the world is moving forward, and these are new leaps that are being taken to kind of keep up with that world.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, so for this launch, we're excited to give Hot Wheels fans a new way to collect their favorite car designs in a digital format, right? So while reaching a new generation of collectors immersed in the NFT space, we acknowledge that, you know, many of our most loyal fans are new to this world of NFTs. I have a lot of collectors asking me, "What is an NFT? I don't understand this." So I get that, you know, it's something new for a lot of us. But we hope that they're pleased to learn that some of the rare finds in Hot Wheels in the Hot Wheels NFT Garage Series One can be redeemed for Hot Wheels iconic diecast cars. So like I said before, so there's not just the digital component, but we're offering this physical component as well, which really helps. Um, I think excite and motivate those traditional collectors who may be a little bit apprehensive about getting into the NFT space. And I think once they get in and they experience what it's all about, I think they'll get excited to continue collecting as we go on to Series 2 and Series 3 and so on and so forth with our NFT Garage.
So how many series does Hot Wheels aim to release per year? I mean, is that being decided on, or
You know, I think that, you know, we'll certainly continue you know, releasing more cars, but I you know, I couldn't say at this point the pacing of
right?
it.
And again, these are all presumptuous questions because I'm trying to get people into kind of like figuring out what next year is going to be, because this is November. Let's say we end ourselves on a note with this series. Next year, what's the next series going to be? How can I prepare myself to get in on that action next year? Um, uh, I completely forgot the question I was going to ask.
well, well,
Then
while you think of
have
that, I did want to say I meant to touch on earlier in talking about just you know, the traditional collector and maybe some of their uh, the thoughts they might be having. One thing important to note is that these Hot Wheels NFTs are being designed and developed by the same designers that design our diecast cars, right? So you know, I know a lot of the guys out there are fans of our collectors, right? They're not only fans of the cars, but there's a huge following for many of our are the fans of the designers, right? So there's a huge following for many of our designers, and so to know that these cars, these NFT cars, are being designed and developed by those same designers, I think is a really important note as well. So um, you can collect not only you know, certain designers' physical cars that they've created, but also the NFTs that they've created as well.
like maybe a new updated version of the Darth Vader car by Bryan Benedict.
Yes, you might see that at some point. We'll see.
Oh,
That would be great.
I would be very. I remember when that first came out, and I was really excited. I thought that was one of the coolest Hot Wheels character cars that had ever come out, and I was a huge fan. Got one myself, and I recently found out that that was based on a Dodge Viper. Is that true?
Yeah, well, so originally, yes. So when I sketched it up, I had a Dodge Viper in mind because of the proportions and everything were correct, and knowing that we were going to build it as a real car when I was first designing it, I wanted to make sure it was realistic and that it could be transformed into a real car. So I sketched it over a Dodge Viper platform. We ended up building it on a Corvette platform, which was
Yes.
similar in proportion and everything. So it worked out. But yeah, it was designed from the very beginning to be a fully functioning real car, which we launched at Comic Con 2014.
That was one of the coolest cars I've ever seen, and I was so happy when I saw it. And when it was launched at Comic Con, I was like, "Wow, I need to get
Yeah,
myself one of those." So,
thank you.
as a designer, is this an exciting thing for you to be a part of? This whole NFT digital collecting field. I mean, how is it for
Oh
you
yeah.
and the guys?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It is. It's an exciting time. You know, there's so much going on right now, and you know, with technology changing and so many advancements, and it's neat to see this whole new wave of collectors coming in that you know, maybe wouldn't have traditionally collected Hot Wheels, but now there's something exciting for those people, it's really exciting to be a part of that, and to be on sort of the on the ground floor as this is just getting going, and I think there's a lot more cool, exciting stuff to come.
That sounds. Is there anything you could give us? Maybe tease us with that's coming, or are we going to be left with just what's going to happen tomorrow? Because we are on the eve of this really crazy, you know, insane thing that Hot Wheels is about to do, and that's jump straight into the deep end of the crypto digital blockchain world. Um, so, is there anything else that you could tease us with, or you know?
Oh man, I don't want to give too much away, but I'll just say that yeah, there's definitely more. That we're definitely working on the next batch, and there's more fun stuff coming, and you'll see some twists and turns along the way. So just keep an eye out for what we've got going on.
Oh, definitely. I am like super excited. And on that note, I think we got a pretty crazy and grand idea of what this is all happening. I think tomorrow is going to be a very exciting day for everyone at Mattel, for everyone at Hot Wheels, I'm pretty sure. It's going to be a very exciting day for us at Castheads to see how turns out as well. Because we've been kind of like looking into these things and keeping an eye on how the industry and how the community has grown, and how the two of them are now getting closer and closer together. And it's really fun to see these sort of innovations coming to be, and seeing how people respond to it, the different ways and different topics of conversation. So thank you so much, Bryan, for the time that you've given us. Thank you so much for that wonderful, wonderful explanation. Um, you will definitely be hearing from me in future a lot more now that I have your email address. So you may need
Yes,
to.
yeah. Feel
uh,
free to reach out anytime.
it was wonderful having you on, and it is always great to have Hot Wheels be the trendsetters and do this sort of stuff, because it keeps the community excited, and it keeps everything really, really interesting. So once again, Bryan, thank you so much for sharing your Monday morning with us. Like I said, tomorrow is going to be, by the time we put this out, it's going to be the day of reckoning for Mattel and Hot Wheels NFT story, which we're all excited to see.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm excited.
Cool. So thanks again. And yep, everybody watching in, thank you so much for joining us. Hope you guys got a complete idea of what this is all about. If not, since this is not a live video, you can watch it all over again and keep watching it till you get a complete picture. But it's going to be absolutely exciting. Get on to wax.io, look for the Hot Wheels NFT, and start building your NFT garage. This is the future of collecting. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. And yep, this is Nigel signing off. Hopefully, we'll have some more news coming up soon in the future. Take it easy, guys.
Thanks, Nigel.
And thank you so much.